won't smoke, devil don't want it, demons don't neither. Hot as a fever, I'm a believer in my G.O.D. Only one love me for me. Won't smoke, devil don't want it, demons don't neither. Hot as a fever, I'm a believer in my G.O.D. Only one love me for me. Jesus down for L, D4L, D4L. Me and Jesus down for L, D4L. We down for life. Me and Jesus down for L, D4L, D4L. Me and Jesus down for L, D4L. We down for life. Deliver the word like FedEx. Smile on the box like Amazon. Lord, I need that lettuce. Protect my heart like Teflon. Watch for hatering, Lord, I'm catering to you. Running that marathon. Detroit blue in the den of the Lions. Coming out feeling like Megatron. We don't play no games, you silly rabbit. The tricks are for kids. Lord, he gon' forgive you. It don't matter whatever you did. Turn your back on sin and post it up like you deep in the paint. Slam it down like Shaq and don't look back. It's stronger than you think. I fell off my horse a couple times, but got back in the race. People don't be saying when they wrong, when it's right in their face. Take a couple hours at your day for the man up above. He gon' show you TLC the spite when you act like a scrub. I'm Bruce Leroy with that glow. It's sure enough that we gon' blow. Well, when this guy gon' make it happen? It's on his time, you'll never know. Just keep praying, put in that work. Can't be wishing, Timmy, turn up, Mr. Crocker. It's the devil, God gon' move him like a cursor. Don't be scared of that night. Lord gon' make everything shine when he come through with that light. Don't be scared of that night. Lord gon' make everything shine when he come through with that light. Don't be scared of that night. Lord gon' make everything shine when he come through with that light. Don't be scared of that night. Lord gon' make everything shine when he come through with that light.
Until I die, you'll hold my brain like you're a poltergeist. that you're gone. I'm trying to move on. It doesn't matter where I go or what I do, you're always right there with me too.
Everything husky.
Good morning, it's another day, my friend. But soon the sunshine turns to moonlight, life goes on. You take some time to say goodnight, you close your eyes to dream. Next thing tomorrow's here.
It's a brand new day, never hold on to hate. Cause you was placed here to be great. Please take your place. All queens got a seat at my table. Cause without y'all, then the man ain't able. Melanated queen, connected to the universe. And so I gotta thank my mom for my birth. If hate is the curse, then love is the remedy. So I send you love no matter creed or identity. Until infinity, look at you like you kin to me. Even when we disagree, yo, you still kin to me. In other words, I can't bring you no trouble, can't bring you no beef, don't wanna see you deceased. Now if I'm coming at you, I'm coming with a business plan. Cause every day I'm on some, yo, let's get this money, man. Yeah, and that's my real plans. I rest my head at night, I wake up, I got another plan.
Good morning, it's another day, my friend. But soon the sunshine turns to moonlight, life goes on. You take some time to say goodnight, you close your eyes to dream. Next thing tomorrow's here again.
It's a lot of high rappers tell me why we don't get money together, but we'll kill each other over whatever. Running down the freeway, we gonna own down. If Black Lives Matter, why we gonna own down? That's why they laugh and they think that we clowns. They hear what we say, but see how we get down. We gotta change that now, right now to be exact. Cause hurting that man's moms is not where it's at now. Old school, new school, need to learn, yo. They put us in groups so they can make more dough. The young versus the old versus the young. Black versus white, you see the pattern, right? No unity, keep them all on some gutter-ish. This way they don't prosper and get rich. Yo, can't you see it's a trick? Just open your third eye and you'll see the full view of it. Now yo, what if the powers that be know that the real power lies within the people? That's us. And what if they using things like crayon colors, black and white, to separate the people? Hey, yo, you gotta wake up. Don't let them fool y'all. Spread love.
Good morning, it's another day, my friend. But soon the sunshine turns to moonlight, life goes on. You take some time to say goodnight, you close your eyes to dream. Next thing tomorrow's. Good morning, it's another day, my friend. But soon the sunshine turns to moonlight, life goes on. You take some time to say goodnight, you close your eyes to dream. Next thing tomorrow's here again. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
All right, here we go. Good morning, y'all.
Good morning.
We are back in the building. Y'all know what to do. Drop a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Drop a 1 in the chat if you could see me. We are going to go ahead and get into it. Woo. Here we go. I see some ones in the chat. Shout out to the gang that's in the building. We should be all set and good to go. There we go. Looking all crispy and clean on the screen. What is up, y'all? Welcome back to another YouTube live stream and another episode of the Music Morning Show. I'm your host, ClassE Beats at ClassEbeats.com, and today we got a lot of interesting topics for y'all, to say the least. We'll be talking about what's going on with this battle we've been covering over the past few days, and we might even review some music today. I know the past couple days we haven't reviewed a lot of music, but we should be able to get to some songs today, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. Hopefully y'all are too. Let me say what's up to everybody who's in here before we get started, man. Shout out to Jen was in here early. We got Mama Jen is in here. Jen the Great's in the building. Good to see you. King Creole's up in here too. Shout out to you. We've got Mr. Tesla is up in here too. Appreciate you being here, man. RGB Shorts is in the building. We've got DJ Snoofu is up in here. Alexa Ray is in the building. Says good morning, ClassE and family. Good to see y'all in here, man. Hopefully everybody's doing good. Let's see. Mama Jen says, thanks, Shorts. I was going to change back to Jen the Great for ClassE show, but YouTube won't let me. Oh, it's all good. It's all good, Jen. No worries. Appreciate you being here. CJ is watching over on BandLab as well. Appreciate you being here, CJ. Who else? Dig D Wright's in the building. Dang, we got everybody in here. Okay. Shout out to y'all. Hopefully y'all are doing well on this Wednesday. Y'all let me know in the chat. How's everybody's Wednesday going? Hopefully y'all are doing good. I'll read some of your comments here in a second. But if you want to know how to submit your music, once we get to the music reviews, there is a link in the description. I also drop a link in the chat for y'all. If you're watching on BandLab, you can drop your links right there in the live chat, and I'll make sure I get those for you guys as well. And then once we get to the music reviews segment of the show, we'll go ahead and go through those as well. We are going to review our topic first, and we'll go through that. There is an option for you guys to call in if you want to call in. The link to call in is pinned in the comment section over on YouTube, or pinned in the live chat over on YouTube. And I actually need to make sure I've got this open as we go throughout the show, so we can go ahead and get that one open. And y'all can call in at any point in the show too. Just let me know in the chat that you're going to call in, and I'll make sure I have the call link up. But as y'all saw in the description, we're gonna be talking about a couple things today. First of all, we're gonna do a full breakdown of the beef that's been going on. I want to go track by track and kind of get y'all's reactions just listening to the songs by themselves and kind of see where you rank each round. I also have it listed out where I think each round starts and begins, so we'll kind of go through that. I just want to get some fresh ears on this so we can actually look at it from a music standpoint and see which ones y'all are rocking with the most. And then we are going to talk about some allegations that have been brought out that possibly UMG is behind this whole thing, and there's some conspiracy that they're trying to make this beef end because they're losing money, which doesn't make sense to me, but that's what I'm hearing out in the streets. We're going to talk about that here in a second. All right. Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody and say what's up. Let me see what y'all said you had going on this weekend. King Creole said he's good chilling at the park with his daughter. That's dope, man. That is awesome. RGB Short says, who do you all think won the fight, or you think it's still going? I personally think it's not over. And if you look at the lyrics from several of the tracks from Drake's side specifically, he says, now this is this is just getting started. So we're going to get into it here in a second. But before we do, let me go through a couple of announcements. Y'all know what time it is. It's Wednesday. So tonight we have a versus challenge on the Song of the Night Live to kick off the show. 4 artists are going to be competing to get that 7th spot in the season 8 tournament. So make sure y'all tune in for that. It's going to be a good time, because once we're done with the versus challenge, we're going to give you guys an opportunity to win $100 and a brand new Shure 55 S8 microphone. So you don't want to miss out on that. Make sure you invite your family, your friends, and your fans to the show so they get an opportunity to vote for your song to make it to the top 20 charts. All right. The 4 artists that are competing tonight, we have Loaded Lou, we have Smokey the One, Stizzy Too Hard, and the new timer Norman Sand are all going to be in the tournament tonight. So that's going to be a pretty intense one, because they're all very, very, very professional artists. So it'll be interesting to see how that one goes. Also, if y'all want to see who all is in the tournament so far, we've got Nick Flanagan, Lanisha Houston, Greg Dose, Lily, Dizzy Days, and Hollywood Co. So the artist who gets that 7th spot tonight, they will face off against whoever gets the 10th seed. And then in the next couple of weeks, we'll start to see some of these matchups get set up in here too. So it's going to be crazy. You see King Creole's over there. He says, sheesh. Yeah, this is going to be a tough one. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Also, all the music you heard at the beginning of the show is available to listen to over on the Rising Stars playlist on BandLab. All right, so if y'all haven't checked out those playlists on BandLab, definitely make sure you do it. We've compiled some of the most popular songs from the Music Morning Show and from the Song of the Night Live as well. over on BandLab. So y'all can check that out. We've got 12 volumes over there already, and I know it's only going to continue to grow. So I appreciate all of y'all who supported these playlists too. So shout out to everyone who's got on the playlist. RGB Short said Drake is going to drop something that's going to ruin it all. I don't think so. And I'll tell y'all why here in a second. Mark of the Prophet said they both went hard after listening to all the disses. Picking a winner really comes down to who you prefer. Yep, and that's been, shout out to Marco. He's been keeping it objective this entire battle that we've been covering. And I agree on 100%. As I said, when this battle first started, it's never been about who's the best, because at the end of the day, that's one, it's a subjective conversation, as Marco just stated. But two, this whole conversation was really about, the industry guy versus the culture guy. Drake was never going to win on the culture side because they've already crowned their king. They've got the Kendricks up there, the 3 Stacks, they've got the 50 Cents and the Tupacs. And I don't think Drake would ever in hip hop culture be seen amongst those, just because one, he's so versatile, and two, he doesn't really fit what hip hop culture would look like. But it's not to say he's not an amazing hip hop artist, and I think he definitely deserves the respect for what he's accomplished. On the other side, it's going to be extremely difficult for Kendrick Lamar to surpass Drake when it comes to the industry side, the accolades, the things Drake's been able to achieve. So it's really those two forces and those two sides of hip hop going against each other. And I agree with Marco the Prophet 100%. It's all about who you prefer. Which side of hip hop are you going to be on? And it'll be interesting to see. I think the most interesting thing for me is what is history going to say? Once the dust kind of settles, because, thankfully we've all kind of been in it, and we've been able to see how everything's played out, from push-ups being leaked to Kendrick Lamar allegedly being tricked into taking this daughter angle, to some of the allegations stemming from Mr. Morale, to, Drake being accused of being a what. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see when the dust settles what everybody starts to say, or the narratives that start to come out. But I think at the end of this, Drake really didn't have anything to lose, and neither did Kendrick. I think he's only going to get the support of the hip hop community even more after this. And Drake, he's still going to be, where Drake was. Maybe he'll have a few hip hop people who aren't supporting what he says, but I don't think people are going to say, most people aren't going to stop listening to Drake that were listening to him before. King Creole says, unpopular opinion, I'm not a big fan of either one. I don't think that's an unpopular opinion, King Creole. I'm not a big fan of either one either. Now, I will say I'm way more familiar with Drake's music, just because, Drake, he was everywhere, especially when I was, when I was in college, and as I was growing up and becoming an adult, it was Drake everywhere, Drake. And then Kendrick dropped some few hits here and there, but Drake is just everywhere. So I'm definitely more familiar with Drake's. I think if I were to put myself on a path to get to a certain level, I think I would probably more go the Drake route, just because I think Drake, when it comes to the business side of things, I like how he's set up his branding with business. But I think Kendrick too, he's got a lot of respect in the community. I respect him for his pen and some of the things he's been able to accomplish too with his label. So they both got benefits in ways that different ways they do things. But I don't think that's an unpopular opinion at all. I'm not a fan. I wouldn't consider myself a fan of either one either. Mark of the Prophet said, I'm probably a bigger fan of Drake, but I like the care Kendrick puts into his projects. Yeah, I'm definitely more of a fan of Kendrick's lyricism, but when it comes to music, I would have to say I'm a bigger fan of Drake's music. It's just more enjoyable to listen to, in my opinion. But yeah, I could definitely see that. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Marco King Creole said all true statements. Yeah, so I could definitely see that. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get into it. I know y'all are ready to cover this topic. Thank you to everybody who's in here before we get into it, if y'all could, I don't ask for too much here. If you're an artist, make sure you submit your music. And if you're just watching to hear the news and get some updates, if y'all could, just like the video. Likes are free. And not only does it help the show continue to grow, but it lets the algorithm know y'all are enjoying the show and it shares it to more people too. All right, I know we've got a couple more people in here. San is back in the building too. Shout out to you. He says, do you think there will be more disses? There will 100,000% be more. I can guarantee that there's going to be more. Actually, we'll get into it here in a second, but there was allegedly a song that was supposed to drop yesterday, but in light of the whole shooting that went down, things put on hold. That's the word on the street. I am Case says neither one of these two men are street. WTF is going on in rap. Yeah, that's it. I'm glad you said that, I am Case, because that is a great point. It's funny to see how hip hop culture is getting behind a guy like Kendrick because he's seemingly so, anti-industry and for the people, when Kendrick Lamar is in the industry. Like, he's a part of the industry. He's under Interscope, who's under UMG. We're going to get into it in a second, but it's just, it's funny to see how the narratives can change just depending on who a person likes. I think a lot of the people and most of the people who are outspoken are people on either are on one side. There's no people in the middle who are just a fan of music and a fan of what's going on that are actually getting some of the bigger platforms. So it's either the Drake absolute stans that are gonna stand behind everything that Drake says, or the Kendrick and culture fans that are like, yeah, this is great for the culture. So it's kind of funny to see that you make that point, but I think a lot of people are being tricked into this whole independence and culture versus industry. It's like, it's all the industry. But they don't want to hear that. They want to hear, I hate Drake, or they want to hear, oh, Kendrick is trash. And that's fine. But here we're going to have those type of conversations, Case. And I try and keep it objective and as pointed as possible. And I've seen some of the creators that I follow. I don't know if it's because they're trying to get more views or people behind them. I know what it is with some of them. Some of them, they are West Coast based, so they can't really speak out about, they really can't speak out against Kendrick, or they wouldn't be able to walk down the street. And then some of them are just super hip hop culture people. So they're buying into the fact that, yeah, Kendrick is hip hop culture guy. So it's just funny to see how they're really not talking about the music, and they're actually picking a side based off this narrative that's being creative that's honestly benefiting the record labels more than anybody. We'll get into that in a second, though. That's a great point, Case. King Creole said it's laughable. It is funny, King Creole, but not everybody. People don't want to talk. They don't want to have those conversations. They want to talk about how trash Drake is or how trash Kendrick is. And I'm fine with having that conversation. I don't like going on who is better, especially when it comes to art. I think they each have their own strengths. As we mentioned, Drake's a hit maker. Kendrick is an elite lyricist, and it is what it is. I don't think I'm not going to be the one that's going to say this guy is better than this guy. If you want to say who's a better writer, sure. But when it comes down to the artistry, I think they both have their strengths. Smoking the ones in here, he said, Jan, I could definitely stop an alien invasion. Okay, shout out to Smokey coming in here. San says, I'm pretty sure Kendrick has 5 disses ready to drop. He's been waiting for this. Drake isn't shying away too. I think we're gonna go into it in a minute, but a lot of people missed what Drake was doing with The Heart Part 6. He made it very clear this is not the end. And he was painting the picture of Kendrick as a victim, as this little boy who was traumatized, and now he's taking it out on Drake, and Drake is saying, I feel bad. I don't even want to diss you anymore because the only reason you're attacking me in this way is because you've been hurt. So he's basically belittling Kendrick. And this is, I don't know. King Creole said, it's a distraction. Go fund Robert Kennedy. Oh, man. They're not ready for that one, man. IMK says, well, even if they're not necessarily gangster rap, the guns already got pulled out. It's scary. It's a shame, man. It takes away from the conversation, in my opinion. Hollywood Co said he's just in here for the show. Shout out to you, man. Oh, man. All right, y'all ready? I'm going to be reading the comments throughout the show, too. And I know we're going to get a lot of comments in here. So if y'all want your voice to be heard, and if it's something that's important or breaking, you guys can super chat, and I'll see those because it'll highlight on the screen. You don't have to super chat, but if you want to make sure you get heard at a specific point in the show, you can super chat, and I'll make sure I get to those on the show. All right, here we go. Let's get into it. So yesterday we had a conversation about the shooting that occurred at Drake's house, which was unfortunate. It seems like the security guard who got shot is still in the hospital. So definitely prayers up for him. Hopefully he's okay. Hopefully he's recovering well. And I'll keep you guys updated on the information there. But there is a little bit more insight into what happened, what's going on with this case, and where the police are in this situation. So check out this video from CP24 News, it looks like.
Police have now increased their presence around the bridle path. This after an overnight shooting on the grounds of Drake's mansion early yesterday.
CP24's Courtney Heels is following the very latest in this investigation. And Courtney, we now know that a security guard is fighting for his life in hospital.
Fighting for his life. Jeez, man.
We received an update from Toronto Police on this yesterday. Nick and Jennifer, at that time, they were able to provide a little bit more information, but there are still several questions this morning over what prompted this shooting, who is responsible, where police are in the search for the suspect or suspects. So yesterday, this was
And also, it has been verified by someone who's on the ground in Canada that there were multiple suspects. So it's just not one. And the police have mentioned this in past episodes and earlier today as well.
huge police scene, a huge investigation. Park Lane Circle, this is the street where Drake lives, where his mansion is behind me here. It was entirely blocked off. They had the yellow police tape up. They had officers out on the street, also in the courtyard area. And they provided an update just outside on the road at that time, sharing with us that this was a security guard. So someone standing outside of the home who was shot at about 2 o'clock on Tuesday morning. It's pretty common to see security outside of the home, given, you know, this is Drake. It's a multi-million-dollar mansion.
Good God.
And we can also tell you, even this morning, there's still some security outside and inside the courtyard area. Police say that security guard had very serious critical injuries and was rushed to hospital. And the latest update we have, that person is still in hospital fighting to survive. We'll let you hear more on what police are and aren't saying about this investigation.
Oh, fair use, by the way, YouTube. Fair use.
I cannot confirm if Drake was home at the time the incident occurred, but I can tell you that we are in contact with his team and they are cooperating.
Now, there is still the question of the motive here, right? We don't know what prompted this shooting. We really don't even know what the involvement was with the suspect and the security guard ahead of time. We learned yesterday the police said they have video of this incident, so they have footage of what happened. They haven't released.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what that video shows too, because even if you look at the street, when they showed the street view, there were a couple houses nearby that had pretty good security in there as well. So. Yeah.
That just yet. They haven't provided a description of the car they say involved in this. They confirm a car is involved, but they're not saying, you know, what kind of car, even how many people might have been in the vehicle, whether it was just one person or a number.
I mean, how many of y'all already know the description of the car, right? It was a dark sedan, dark SUV, no license plate, tinted window. I mean, we already know the description of the car. All right. So I don't even know why this is a conversation.
Number of people at the time. It's possible we'll get an update on that later on, guys.
They weren't driving a bright pink Volkswagen Bug, right?
We were told by police investigators that they were going over the quality of the footage. But there also were a lot of questions yesterday over what prompted this shooting. Drake's been in the headlines lately. There's been this kind of back and forth, this feud going on with another well-known artist, Kendrick Lamar. The question was put to investigators, is this involved in any way? And police said they were aware of this dispute, but they didn't say anything on a motive, and we kind of don't expect them to say much else until they have more information to share on this. So the latest in the Bridle Path neighborhood this morning, there is still this security presence outside of Drake's home. We still don't know if he was home at the time of the shooting, and police still searching for the person responsible for firing at the security guard outside of the mansion. Over to you.
Yeah, of course it was. Of course it was because of the beef. We just don't know who did it. I think to say that this isn't because of the beef is just disingenuous. No one's just gonna randomly pull up to Drake's house and shoot at 2 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, it's because of the beef. Anyway, nothing too crazy new about this situation. Hopefully we get more insight into what happened. Hopefully the security guard is okay here too, and that they catch the guys that did it, because I mean, it's just, yeah, it's a shame that things went this way, because for me, it kind of took the energy out. Like y'all hear, I'm not, it just feels different now because somebody's life is in danger, whether it be directly or indirectly from both sides. It's just a shame it came down to this. Anyway, let me see what y'all are saying in the chat and in the comments real quick. Mark of the Prophet said the inside basketball court in that crib is cold. I can't imagine walking up and going to hoop in the crib. Yeah, it could happen one day. We'll get you an invite out there, Marco. I got you. RGB Short said I'm gonna hop out with the flamethrower. Jen says what I don't get is, why is it so hard to find out if Drake was home? Just ask. I think it's probably, I think the biggest reason is because the news crew hasn't been allowed inside or near the property. So if Drake was there, one, somebody would have had to be there at 2 a.m. when the shooting went down. After the shooting happened, everybody's going to stay inside. Once the police get there, Drake could possibly come outside and talk to the police, or the police could come inside because maybe Drake doesn't want to be seen. So yeah, it all just depends. Kid Creole says it was Rick Ross. Dang. And RGB Short said, for real, Jen, how hard is it to ask him if he was home? Yeah, I just think they want to wait until the air gets clear. All right, so we've got another story here I wanted to get into. We got to give Kendrick his props. All right, shout out to Kendrick Lamar. Going crazy with the music right now. Kendrick Lamar simultaneously charts 4 songs in the top 10 in the US on US Spotify. UMG is up right now. Shout out to them. The most of any artist, Not Like Us, is at number 1, and this was posted 20 minutes ago by DJ Academics. Euphoria is at number 2. Like That is at number 7. It's gonna be number 1 next week for sure, depending on how often they update these. And Meet the Grams is at number 9. All right, so shout out to Kendrick for that. We got a couple more things in here. DJ Academics also posted this from Talk of the Charts. Diss tracks by Kendrick Lamar and Drake are projected to earn a combined 250 million streams in the US this week. Oh my God. Woo! That's crazy. Across all streaming platforms, roughly 20% of all streams on the Billboard Hot 100 this week are expected to be coming from these tracks. Congratulations to UMG again, and Drake and Kendrick. I'm not mad. I benefited from it. We've been able to have these conversations in some pretty big live streams, so I'm not mad at all. And then last but not least, giving Kendrick his credit. Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us breaks its own all-time record for biggest single-day streams of a hip-hop song in US Spotify history. Oh my God. With a new high of 6.812. Is this what we're doing now? What? Million streams. All right. Hey, shout out to Kendrick. That's dope. Hey, get your bag, man. That's awesome. This is the thing I like to see. So this kind of lifts the spirits. It's cool to see Kendrick breaking records. Now, somebody, I don't want to be this guy. Somebody said it in the comments, so I'll just read it. They said, all because of Drake. this is definitely going to be a blessing and a curse to Kendrick, because like it or not, I know some people aren't going to be objective about it. Drake will always be able to say the only reason that Kendrick was making this type of history was because he was talking about Drake. And that's tough. Like, you almost don't even want to. They almost should have just kept these on Instagram. I get he's gonna get the money from it, but Drake is always gonna be able to hold that over Kendrick's head. So although this is cool, I could definitely see what this person is saying, because Drake, if Kendrick can't say anything about outperforming Drake in that way until he does it on his own. So we'll see what happens when the album drops. It would probably, I don't know. Y'all have to let me know what you think in the comments, because even if he drops the album now, Drake could still say, "Oh, it's because of me." So, and Marco the Prophet said it. What did Marco say? He said, "And it's the truth. You can't deny it." Yeah, you can't deny it. King Creole says, went from dropping every 5 years to multiple drops in weeks. What? Yeah. And Drake mentioned it at the end of the Heart Part 6, where he said, "Hey, I'm glad I can motivate you to drop some music." So, hey, it's brilliant. It's brilliant on both sides. Kendrick, I think the short-term gain is huge. Long-term, Drake's got this chip on his side of the table. So, yeah. Hollywood Co said the motivation. Absolutely. Yep. Big D Wright said soon the big threes got to mention all. Soon big three got mention all this spark off. Can you rephrase that, Big D Wright? Because I'm missing it. King Creole said great marketing. 100%. The marketing on Kendrick Lamar's side has been top tier. We got to give it to his marketing team. Every step they made along the way, with the first 2 tracks, with dropping the second 2 tracks back to back, with the feature with Metro and Future, waiting until the battle was at its peak and at its highest to drop Not Like Us. I mean, this whole thing has been a masterclass in how to utilize this type of thing to project your music forward. So that's the part of it. The business side of it is the part I love, not necessarily the back and forth. Hollywood Co says if Kendrick drops the album Friday, he'll break the internet. Oh man, I hope he doesn't. I hope he waits until this cools down, because again, he might get the numbers and it might be a smart business move, but since he's so big in the hip hop culture as far as legacy, every time they bring up the numbers conversation, you're going to say, well, he was beefing with Drake. If he weren't beefing with Drake, who knows what type of numbers that he would do. So I hope he waits. I think he'll probably wait until this cools down, honestly. Top Shelf Mexican says, but the fact he didn't get washed says a lot about Kendrick, because most artists wouldn't make it past the first round. I disagree with that, Top Shelf Mexican, only because Kendrick Lamar, when you think of lyricists, when you think of rappers, especially on the hip hop culture side, he's at the top. J. Cole was there for me until he bowed out. So, I mean, there's really, who do you see taking on Kendrick Lamar right now? I guess you could say maybe Kanye, but I don't know if even Kanye could take on Kendrick Lamar lyrically. I think Kanye would probably be more on the industry side of things, to where he could make more of a hit, and he has such a bigger cult following than Kendrick. I think Kanye might beat Kendrick out in the matchup there. But yeah, I think they're just two elites in hip hop that are going at it. And yeah, I don't think he would have gotten washed in that way. Shout out to Mr. Vasquez in here. Matt is in the building. Appreciate you, man. He's saying he dropped. I don't believe you. I appreciate you being here, though. Yeah. I appreciate you being here, but I don't believe you. I don't think Kendrick dropped. I'm gonna check just in case. But I think you're probably trolling. He said no, he's trolling. Everybody, I saw on DJ Academics, every 5 minutes somebody was typing Kendrick drop, Kendrick drop. Yeah, I know. I need to have certain people that I know that I trust when they say Kendrick drop. What else? Let's see. Top Shelf Mexican says it also says a lot about Drake that Kendrick didn't get washed. Yeah, Drake really, I just don't think either one of them had anything to lose in this situation. Because Drake, when it comes to hip hop, he is where he is. That's not going to change. No, Kendrick didn't drop. Kendrick Lamar, I think Kendrick Lamar had more to gain fighting with Drake, because Drake is, when you think of hip hop music right now, everybody thinks of Drake. And that's the thing that Kendrick had to gain from this. You see the numbers that he's doing, you see the publicity he's doing leading up to an album, which Drake also mentioned again. So I think it's just a smart move by him, because the hip hop community, as y'all have seen, is going to rally behind this guy. They're not going to, I mentioned to somebody in the comments, I said, it could come out today that Kendrick Lamar was the one who pulled the trigger, shot the security guard, and he also beat his wife, and the hip hop culture would still be like, hey, Kendrick's our guy. So when it comes to hip hop culture, I don't think there's anything that he could do to lose. I will say, we'll keep it going. Big D Wright says J. Cole was the one who sparked it off for mentioning the big three, and ever since then it's been chaotic. Possibly Big D Wright. The only thing is, allegedly Kendrick was supposed to be on first person shooter and turned it down. So if that was the case, Kendrick turning it down really sparked things off, because that could be seen as Drake saying, hey, let's just get on the track together. We'll let the people have the conversation about the big three, and we'll keep it moving. We'll have the little back and forth, the little pokes and the little jabs here and there, and then we'll let them have this conversation. And then Kendrick Lamar went on like that and was like, no, fuck the big three. It's just Big Me. So I think he could have said that regardless of what Cole said, but I can see how you make that argument. I don't necessarily agree with you. I just think it all started behind the scenes, and now we know allegedly what possibly happened. Mark of the Prophet said, I wonder how this will affect Cole's album drop. Oh my gosh. People. I think Cole's going to do Cole numbers. I don't think it's going to affect it one way or the other, because people are saying Cole is smart. What? They're saying, yeah, J. Cole was smart to drop out. He couldn't handle this. So I think people they're going to cape for him. They're going to support his music regardless, as they should. I don't think it's going to affect him one way or the other. Honestly, if anything, it'll do more, because people want to see what Cole is going to say and if he's going to address this whole situation. Let's see. What else are y'all saying? What else are y'all saying here? Mama Jen says, that's hard to judge. Oh, she's talking to DJ Snoofu. Says, who would you say is the greatest at diss tracks in the battle? In this battle specifically, you'll have to clarify. Or you're talking about historically wise. Jen says that's hard to judge, DJ, because they both come at each other differently. Hey, yo. RGB Short said, ClassE, I'm gonna watch the recording of the stream afterwards. Appreciate you stopping by. King Creole said, K-Dot said it's him. Yeah. And Big D Wright said, told you, ClassE, J. Cole played it smart. Don't get me started. DJ Snoofu said, I can only think of one person that is on top of all the diss tracks. Well, we're going to go through it here in a second, actually. We're going to go through it here in a second. We're going to review each track. We're going to see what y'all's initial thoughts are as we play the tracks. and then we can decide round by round who you think won each round, which song you like better, and then we can see what y'all are saying at the end. All right, last one, and we'll get into the rest of the show. King Creole says, I understand, because when I get on anyone's track, I'm trying to outdo you. If I get on the track with Drake and Kendrick, whoever, I'm trying to dead. Yeah, and that's the spirit of the art of competition that I love. So shout out to King Creole for having that mindset, because I think that's the way it should be. You know, and after it's over, it's like, okay, cool. We're fine. We'll just deal with it. Margaret the Prophet said, that's crazy. You turned down first person shooter. I'm honestly surprised he did. Yeah, I mentioned it when the beef first started. That was one of the things I pointed out. I said, Drake, why did you leave Kendrick off of first person shooter? Because to me, it just didn't make any sense. I think it would have been a great way for them to kind of keep the conversation going anymore. It's like, here are the top 3 artists of our generation. Which one are you rocking with? And even if you think about it, going back to the music video, you can see how the whole setup was set up for Kendrick to be on the track. That's why I thought it was weird. And now and I mentioned that back when it first started. Now it makes sense that Kendrick turned it down, because even if you think of the Spider-Man meme that Drake used in the first person shooter video, there's usually 3 Spider-Mans. There's one in the front pointing at these two, and then there's the other 2 on the side. But then in the video, it was just Drake and J. Cole. So I wish Kendrick wouldn't have turned it down. I think it would have been fun to have a conversation that way. But I mean, we are where we are with the beef, and I think this is just as entertaining too. So Rashad is up in here too. Appreciate you joining. Said Drake seemed unprepared, spent too much time addressing the lies, and didn't focus on K-Dot enough. Push-Ups and Family Matters were dope tracks, but this is similar. It's just one round. It's not the entire battle. Sometimes if you're boxing, you got to play defense. So some rounds you just got to take some hits. You got to deflect some hits just to give yourself a little bit of space. It's like boxing, y'all. So they've gone back and forth. It was clear to me there were clear winners in the first 2 rounds. This third round, Drake played some defense. And he's like, all right, get ready for round 4, or we're at halftime. He's like, get ready for the second half, the third and fourth quarter. Here we go. And that's what I'm hearing from the Heart Part 6. Dang, we got a lot of people in here. I want to keep it going, but I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all in the comments. Booyaka is up in here too. A new timer in the building says, Meet the Graham sucked all the energy from Drake. Kendrick picked up on all Drake's fumbles, the slavery stuff, and colonizing rap. Where does it go from here? Well, this is my problem with some of the Kendrick fans out there. Y'all are completely, let's say we just take it. We say, yep, okay, Meet the Grams sucked all the energy out from Drake, right? Okay, there was a response to that. What did the response say? The response said that Drake planted all the evidence. So you could argue over half of what was said in Meet the Grams is voided by Drake saying, hey, I didn't do things with anyone who wasn't underage, and all that stuff you're using to say, you know, I'm continuing to be a bad dad and have a 11-year-old that I'm hiding. I planted that information. So I don't know. King Creole says, the real question is Ant Jordan's son? Hey, shout out to Anthony Edwards, man. That dog. He might be. He might be, man. They got Kobe and they got Jordan in the lab, and they created a hybrid or something. And Boo says, no receipts on both sides, huh? It's not about receipts. When it comes to beefing, when it comes to battle, y'all know who are in the rap community and who are into battle rap. It doesn't matter. It's about who can take the best shots. Now, if there's some truth behind them, you know, fine, whatever. But you take the information that you have and you try and take the best shot. Now, receipts are cool for us on this side to talk about and be like, there's no facts behind that, but dang, that hurt. And I could kind of see it with Drake saying that Kendrick Lamar put hands on his wife because He's smaller than her. Or Kendrick saying that Drake likes underage girls, and there's maybe some evidence to that. I mean, it's just a back and forth. So which shot do you think hit harder? I don't know. I guess we have to be the judge because there's no official judge from the hip hop community. But I'm really not on the receipt side of things. I think it's fun for us to talk about, but when it comes to the actual battle, it's like, who's got the harder hits? That's just me though. I could be wrong. All right, y'all, let's keep it moving and get into the next part of the show. So there was some information that was allegedly leaked about UMG trying to shut this whole beef down. Can y'all believe that? When I heard this, I thought it was really weird. So apparently UMG sent an email, or they got on a Zoom call with both sides, or with both camps, mainly Kendrick's camp. And they said, hey, we're losing too much money. You got to shut this down. We don't like where it's going. Drake, he's being affected too, and he's our golden child, and he's got this deal with Nike, and et cetera, and we want you to shut it down. All right, which is interesting that people are bringing UMG into the conversation because both artists have relationships, business relationships with UMG. So it's funny that they're even being brought up. But anyway, let's see what Rap TV is saying. Rumors of UMG stepping in to make Kendrick and Drake stop beefing are false, according to TMZ. Sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ there was no such meeting between UMG, Drake, and Kendrick, and that this entire little narrative, which is starting to go viral online, is completely made up and not true. All right, so let's look at the full article from TMZ and see what they're saying. The rumor about UMG mediating BS. Label ain't interfering. God, who wrote that title? Jesus. There's a rumor going around that Drake and Kendrick Lamar shared music label, this is an interesting point. Shared music label tried to force them to squash their beef, but turns out it's totally unfounded, TMZ has learned. All right, so to give y'all a little background, you guys know Drake signed a huge deal with UMG. Let me see if I can. I won't. Let me see. Drake UMG deal. I think it's $400 million. Variety says Drake strikes massive multifaceted deal with Universal Music Group. One insider describing the arrangement, which includes the rapper's publishing interest, as LeBron size. I think he signed, I think it was 400 million. We've got a stake. Yep, here we go. To estimate, let's see, since 2014, Drake has moved over 37 million album project units. He's also the first artist ever to surpass 50 billion combined streams on Spotify. To estimate that Drake's music brings in 50 million annually is no stretch. That's crazy, man. And that's just the music. Jeez. Say sources. And that deal could be in the vicinity of 400 million or more. Is it either? Jeez. All right. So this is with UMG. That's where Drake's deal is. Then we've got Kendrick Lamar. So y'all are probably wondering, how is Kendrick Lamar tied to UMG? Well, Kendrick Lamar's record label, PG Lang, which was founded back in March of 2020, has a publishing deal that they did. And if you look through and do a little bit of research, basically Kendrick Lamar's record label is going through Interscope, and Interscope, they are under Universal Music Group. All right. Now, Kendrick Lamar, he only has a publishing deal with them, I believe. I didn't look too much into it, but from what I was able to gather from this article, it looks like he only has a publishing deal with them. But at the end of the day, they both have business relationships or business interest with both sides. All right. So I will get to the super chats here in a second. Just let me read through this article real quick. All right. So here's the deal. A blind item is being calculated that purports to have the inside scoop on an alleged meeting between Kendrick, Drake, and Universal Music Group, which both artists are technically signed to via distribution subsidiaries. All right. And here's what, let me see if we can click on this. Oh, that's nice. All right, here's what the alleged communication or email says. It says, currently waiting for proof. Take with a grain of salt until then. All right. From an insider, waiting on proof in the form of documents. Will update whenever I receive it. PG Lang, Kendrick, and XO, The Weeknd, as of yesterday, were asked by Universal Music Group, UMG, to end the beef with OVO. Oh, man, I hope that is not true. Which I don't think it is, but I think it's interesting. Kendrick apparently isn't budging at all, but UMG is pressing hard on their request to squash the beef.
Stop the cap.
They're breaking records. Now, it could be because of the allegations Kendrick has brought up against Drake and maybe saying he took it too far, and that could cause them to lose money on their interest, which $400, hey, y'all, that's a lot of money, okay? So I can get it. I could argue both sides, but I don't know. I don't think this is true. UMG also had a Zoom meeting with all of the parties involved, and they want Kendrick either directly or said through PG Lang to post a statement clarifying that Drake isn't a pedo if Kendrick agrees to end the beef. Oh. This is bad. This is bad. Drake is losing the beef in UMG's eyes. So from UMG, I don't see this statement is crazy. This just looks like someone wrote this and sent it. Drake is losing the beef in UMG's eyes. So from UMG's perspective, the sooner that the beef ends, the better. The pedo accusations directed at Drake are costing UMG, Nike, and other parties a lot of money. Now, that's an interesting take. I don't know. It's allegedly been debunked by an insider, so I don't know if it's true. Y'all have to let me know in the comments if you think it's true, but it's definitely interesting. They would come out and say this, that it looks like we're losing, we're going to hurt our other relationships. So there have been artists in the past, y'all can name them in the chat, I'm sure, that have kind of been put at a disadvantage from those type of allegations too. Let's see. There's a few bullet points addressed in the blind item, including the claim that UMG honchos tried to force Kendrick to capitulate to Drake and apologize and squash things. The blind item, citing purported insiders. I've never seen this word before. What does that mean? Purported insiders said UMG wanted to have K-Dot put out a statement acknowledging that Drake is not, in fact, y'all know what. This while alleging that UMG brass was viewing Drake as losing big time in the beef and hurting their bottom line. It also sounded pretty thorough and detailed, but sources with direct knowledge tells TMZ there was no such meeting between UMG, Drake, and Kendrick, and that this entire little narrative, which is starting to go viral online, is completely made up and not true. I don't know. What do y'all think?
Stop the cap.
We're told not only did UMG not insert itself, but sources who are familiar with the inner workings of the label say Universal would never jump into something like this.
Stop the cap.
And this, again, I hate to go back and forth about it, but this is something that puts more points on the board for me thinking that it's true. If you have a $500 million interest that is involved in something like this, you are going to jump in. Whether you're going to send an email, you're going to have a representative make a phone call that says, hey, just keep it on the music. Don't get too crazy. Right? So this, I'm not buying that as a defense, though. The way it's explained to us, Kendrick and Drake's beef is between them and completely separate from the business side of things. That is, oh my gosh.
Stop the cap.
And UMG just doesn't think it's their place to step in either way, so they didn't. Nor did they ever consider doing so. Now, I could see it on both sides. Maybe they want to keep it going because it ups the numbers, but to say that they don't have any interest is crazy. $400 million, yeah, you're gonna be interested. Mind you, there's also the fact that all these music drops have clearly only helped them. Exactly. All the tracks between the two guys have spurred lots of streams and plays, and that's dollars for UMG. And that's what we said earlier. So objectively, there's a financial incentive to keep a beef like this going. We said that earlier. Now, in terms of whether it's actually will keep going or die on the vine, all signs point to the latter. I don't think so. DJ Head telegraphed this earlier this week, suggested Drake was throwing in the towel and moving on. Of course, that was before a shooting took place at Drake's house. Drake is not throwing in the towel. Y'all are lost. Shout out to DM up in here. Oh, tell me this isn't true. Is this true, DM? He said TMZ is owned by UMG. Say it ain't so. Is that true? We gotta do some research on that. Also, shout out to DM says video on YouTube called Drake's Disturbing History. Yeah, we covered a couple of interesting things, I should say, yesterday and Monday as well. But I'll have to look it up. Drake's Disturbing History. I'll definitely check it out. Shout out to DM too. All right, let's keep it going on this one. Hold on. Who owns TMZ? TMZ's owned by Fox. So I guess we would have to look at ties there. You know what? Let's do this. I wonder if ChatGPT will tell me. This will make it way easier. Why is it making me log in? Hold on a second. I gotta look this up and find out what's going on here. All right, here we go. Let's see. Does Universal Music Group have any ties to TMZ? And I can't type, y'all. What does ChatGPT says? As my last update, January 2022, Universal Music Group didn't have any direct ownership ties to TMZ. However, TMZ has often reported news related to celebrities signed under UMG or involved in the music industry. Uh-oh. While there might not be direct ownership ties, there could be a partnership. There could be partnership or collaboration between UMG artists and TMZ for publicity or promotional purposes. For the most current information, it's always a good idea to verify through recent news sources. All right, so 2022 is pretty recent. So I guess what DM is saying is that there's somebody on the inside they're not openly owned by Universal Music Group. But yeah, I could definitely see how they could be getting paid to release certain information. I wouldn't put it past them. No telling how the unfortunate development may affect things in the music space on the issue either of these titans being brought in by the principal to work out their problems, we're told is complete BS. Here's hoping they can work out their issues quietly and non-violently behind the scenes. Hell no, we don't want that. Shout out to the Critical Chronicles of YM. We do not want them to settle this quietly. Non-violently, yes, but no. I got more content to make, man. Shout out to Drake and Kendrick for feeding the channel some more content to make. All right, let me see. So we went over that part. All right, so we're going to get into the next part of the show here in a second, but let me see what y'all are saying in the chat too. Let's see. Mark of the Prophet says, I doubt any label would stop a beef, especially because it makes them more money. Yeah, it depends. You know, most businesses are looking long-term, Marco. I agree with you in general. I mean, it's going to generate, it's kind of what I said about Kendrick. In the short term, this is going to be great for him. In the long term, what does it look like? As a business, you really have to look at long term. If something isn't said about these allegations against Drake, are certain people not going to want to deal with him because of these allegations? Is this the reason why the Heart Part 6 was so defensive? Is because did Drake get a call from UMG and they say, hey man, can't let that slide. We know Kendrick let the wife beating allegation slide. You gotta say something about this because Nike, such and such, they're not gonna like that. So I don't think they would stop it either, Marco, for sure. But I don't know why that TMZ article said they're not going to step in, because if I have a $400 million asset, I'm going to be watching that thing on the daily, and especially if it's brought up in the news. Jen said, Marco, I completely agree. Yep. King Creole says UMG is getting the end bag. Oh, absolutely. Mixed Love is up in here, says King Creole, I think it's the first time I've ever been intimidated to. Oh, okay. Y'all are talking about something else. Marco the Prophet said there's more money to be made in violence, drama, and beef. Unfortunately, it easily entertains us. Dang. What does that say about pop culture, man? I don't want to get into that conversation because a lot of people are going to get their feelings hurt. But we are going to have that conversation one day. Today's not that day, though. Marco, it's so sad that's true. King Creole says, what does he say? He says, send me the info on that beat. Oh, okay. Y'all are talking about something else. Jen says, Marco, ClassE won't agree. Oh. I won't agree with what, Jen? King Creole says, maybe Kendrick has some real info. He was with Nickelodeon. Uh-oh. Marco the Prophet says, I wouldn't be surprised all media is owned under the same umbrella. Do y'all know that ESPN and Fox are all owned by Disney? Yeah, ESPN and Fox are all under Disney. So that's why this whole thing is weird with the back and forth that's been there between, if y'all know sports, or if you're in the sports, Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Y'all are under the same company. That's why this whole situation is pretty funny to me, because we all know the end goal is for them to generate as much money as possible. Now, there might be a side mission to where Kendrick and Drake want to really prove who is better or who's the number one just across the board. But at the end of the day, it's about money. So they're out here doing their thing. Marco the Prophet said TikTok isn't controlled by media. That's why it's hated. But that's off topic and a different story. Yeah, well, it will be soon, Marco. It's going to go. TikTok's going for sale. So they put an end to that. And I mentioned this to my guy, Curtis King. I say, the record labels are going to be right in line to purchase TikTok when it goes up for sale. And it's not a coincidence that UMG all of a sudden is like, oh, hey, TikTok, we'll get back into an agreement with you. Now that you're about to be sold to a US company or a company. Yeah, it's wild out here. The Critical Chronicles of YM says, why doesn't Drake make a formal press release or some kind of written announcement about the allegations? He did it in a song. That's his thing. That is his press release. And I mean, there's really nothing there. If we're going to keep it real, they're all allegations. Yeah, I think from a brand standpoint, I understand why he would address it. But there's nothing there. You had the 17-year-old with the super awkward video that was at the concert with Drake and went on stage and all that went down. She spoke out. She's like, I'm 31 now. Didn't regret it then. Don't regret it now. That's off the table. He had a texting relationship with Millie Bobby Brown. Brought that up in the song. Nothing's come out from that. I highly doubt it will, just because where Millie is at in her career, I know she doesn't want to get involved in any of that, even if there is something else that went on. So, I mean, right now, in my opinion, Drake's in the clear. Now, I know other people, of course, they're going to be speculative and going, I don't know. And I agree, it's strange, but Drake did what he had to do. This is something that you just can't let slide. Snap and Slap is in here too. He says, ClassE, I love this shirt. Appreciate you, man. Oh man. Shout out to Class Act Radio. Says the morning show then turned to the K-Dot hour. Shout out to you. He said, what's good, y'all? I got Drake for the win. Ooh. Do you think Drake is winning now? Or is he gonna win eventually? Also, welcome the new member. DM is in the building. What's up? Appreciate you, man. We've got over 40,000 people watching. I don't ask y'all for much. If you could, just make sure you like the video. I see only, let me see. Okay, so we've got 42,000 people in here. Could we get 20 more likes? Just half of y'all to like. Get the likes up to close to 30. That would be amazing. All right, we're going to keep it moving. Now, this is going to be the more interactive part of the show. And again, excuse me, if y'all want to call in, make sure you call in. The link is pinned in the live chat over there on YouTube if y'all want to call in and give your opinion and give your thoughts. So what we're going to do is we're going to break this whole battle down as it sits right now. I believe that we're at halftime right now. We've still got 2 quarters to go and Drake isn't slowing down. Kendrick definitely isn't slowing down because he already mentioned he's got songs in the chamber. So not slowing down anytime soon, but I want to go do a full breakdown. We're going to go round by round. I'll show you guys here in a second how I think each round is laid out. What's round 1, what's round 2, what's round 3. And then you can give some feedback in the comments and let me know what you think about each round. All right, before we get into that, we've got another super chat from DM. Says, that's why you got to watch the video. 14 years of info. Oh, good Lord. Let me see. King Creole says, Leo DiCaprio just got him a new girlfriend, 19 years old. Hey, shout out to Leo. King Creole says, that's gross. Nah. I mean, she's an adult. King Creole. Let her win, man. Let her get that money, get the nice trips. Yeah, leave them alone, man. Let Leo do his thing. Class Act Radio said, hell yeah, he's winning. That is not gross. I 1000% disagree. Gosh, I wish I could share this conversation I had. I actually had a surprising conversation with someone close to me about the whole 17-year-old on stage situation, but I'm gonna leave that one alone. That's not gross. Mixed Love says 20 more likes and I'll make a OnlyFans. What? She's 5'3", y'all. Just saying. Mama Jen says she's legal. Creole. Yeah, come on, man. Don't do that. DM says in that video details Drake following high school basketball players on his IG and messaging them, dating Hailey Bieber and meeting her when she was 14, meeting someone at 14 and then dating them when they're of age is not a crime. It's a bunch of stuff. Also, if I remember correctly, the basketball team is actually, let me see if I could find this. The basketball team that he followed was from his goddaughter's basketball team, I believe. And she actually said something about it on X. Let me see if I can find it. I know we're kind of getting off the trail. Here we go. Lily. This is a volleyball team. So Lily, this is his actual goddaughter. She says, PSA, I need y'all to stop using me to push this false narrative. This is me. This was my college volleyball team. He's my godfather. Nothing else. He supported family and it was one of the best nights of my career. I broke 2 records that day. Anyways, family matters. So yeah, I don't know what you're referring to. I would assume that was it. This is a volleyball team, but I'll have to watch the video. I haven't watched the video yet, but I'll make sure I do that. Mixa Love said, "ClassE, I'm only 5 feet." But thanks for the extra 3 inches.
Hey, yo. What did he say?
Mix Love, this is a family show. You got to relax. He says, Charlie Del Cio. I think you meant to type D'Amelio, right? Are you starting to say Charlie D'Amelio or D'Alessio? I don't know who that is. FaceTime when she was 16 and posted she was in Toronto. Let me be clear. Is all of this weird? Yes. Would I do it? Absolutely not. Is it wrong? No. No, it's not wrong. Do I think it's wise? No. Do I think it's smart? No. Do I think it's weird? Yes. Would I do it? Absolutely never. No way. No. But it's he's a like it or not, DM, he is allowed to FaceTime a 16-year-old. And that, I mean, that's just being, so until you tell me something weird or something inappropriate happened, I don't get the point. Yes, we agree. We're on the same page. It's weird. I don't like it, but there's nothing legally wrong with it. There's nothing morally wrong with it until I hear that he was saying some inappropriate things or yeah, but y'all don't like it. That's fine. But you need to leave that man alone. Mark the Prophet said, I had a 39-year-old woman at 19. She taught me a lot.
Hey, yo. What did he say? Hey, yo.
King Carell said, guess I'm weird. No, you're not weird, King Carell. I mean, I don't think it's gross. She's an adult. Oh, okay. He's DM saying he's not the same girl. I got to watch the video then and see what actual evidence they have. I get y'all don't like it. I don't like it either. And if I had a 16-year-old daughter that was FaceTiming, what did you say? How old was he when he was FaceTiming her? How old was he when he was FaceTiming her? If I found out, my 16-year-old daughter was FaceTiming, let's say he was 25 at the time, 25-year-old, I would not be comfortable or okay with that. But at the end of the day, he's not breaking any laws, and morally, it's not wrong. That's just my opinion now. Is it inappropriate? Yeah, absolutely. In his 30s? No way. All right. I believe you. I'll take your word for it, DM, but I'd have to see more information on that one. Mix Love said, wait, no, not that 3 inches.
Hey, yo.
You're just making it worse. Making it worse. Mix Love. Christopher Wilson's in here, says it's not right. Yeah, I agree. I don't like it. I don't think it's wrong. I just think it's inappropriate. I would just say, hey man, don't FaceTime my daughter ever again. And then that's that. I mean, it's not like Drake was, I don't know. Y'all are reaching. That's what grooming is, bro. Meet them young and convince them you're a friend. Okay, do you have proof of that? I understand what grooming is. Do you have evidence? Because they were on FaceTime, he's grooming her? What? That's like saying if I go, like if you were to go to a barbecue and some birthday parties, y'all are like, oh, he's grooming. He was at the birthday party. Like, you got to show me something that says he was grooming. I don't see, there's no evidence to that. And y'all are just saying stuff at this point. But hey, Kendrick, congratulations to Kendrick for pushing the narrative, because y'all are feeding right into it. I don't know. Shout out to Mix Love though. Hey, y'all get those. Let me see. Did we get some more likes? Oh, we had somebody dislike the video. Dang. Can we get 10 more likes? Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so this is how I'm going to break it down, y'all. This is how I see it. You might disagree, but this is the premise. We have to set the foundation for this conversation, all right? So y'all just bear with me. This is how I see everything playing out so far over this initial, what do you want to call it, first half of this battle, all right? So I've got the initial challenge was the drama with first-person shooter versus like that, all right? So that was the initial challenge. We don't really need to cover that because we don't need to decide who won that round. All right. Round 1 is going to be push-ups and tailor-made freestyle versus Euphoria and 616 in LA. All right. Then after that, we have round 2, which is Family Matters versus Meet the Grams. And then round 3 is Not Like Us versus Heart Part 6. All right. So I'm going to bring this up just to remind y'all as we go through each round where we're at, what round we're on, and then we're going to keep it going. Y'all let me know what you think in the chat as well. Let me get a poll in here too, because I want to see what y'all think. Oh, we've got 22 likes. The OF is on the way, Mix Love. You got to keep your promise. We got you in 4K. All right. So let me see. I'll put the polls in the chat as we go through each round. All right, so the first round, we're going to do push-ups and tailor-made versus Euphoria and 616 in LA. All right, so let's go to push-ups. Now, just want y'all just look at the music, because in 60 years, right, when you're having this conversation with your grandkids, they're going to go back and they're going to listen to these tracks. They're going to say, oh, this one went against that one. I think this. All right, so y'all just try and remove yourself from the moment for a second. Let's just listen to the music, the jabs that are taking place and going back and forth, and let me know what y'all think. All right. Let's see. So we're going to start with push-ups. I know most of y'all heard push-ups too.
Never be nobody #1 fan. Your first #1, I had to put it in your hand. You pussies can't get booked outside America for nan. I'm out in Tokyo because I'm big in Japan. I'm the hit maker y'all depend on. Backstage in my city, it was friend zone. You won't never take no chain off of us. How the fuck you big stepping with a size 7 man?
Fair use, YouTube.
This the part with the bite, nigga, what's up? I know my picture on the wall when y'all cook up. Extortion, baby, whole career, you been shook up. Cause Top told you drop and give me 50 likes of push-ups. Hood, your last one brick, you really not on shit. They make excuses for you cause they hate to see me lit. Pull your contract cause we gotta see the split. The way you doing splits, bitch, your pants might rip. You better do that motherfucking show inside the bitty. Maroon 5 need a verse, you better make it witty.
Hey.
Then we need a verse for the Swifties. Top say drop, you better drop and give them 50.
50.
Pip squeak, pipe down, you ain't in no big 3. Scissor got you wiped down, Travis got you wiped down, Savage got you wiped down. Like your label, boy, you in the scope right now. Ooh. And you gon' feel the aftermath of what I write down. I'm at the top of the mountain, so you tight now. Just to have this talk with your ass, I had to hike down. Big difference between Mike then and Mike now. What the fuck is this, a 20v1, nigga? What's a prince to a king? He a son, nigga. Get more love in a city that you from, nigga. Metro, shut your whole ass up and make some drums, nigga. Yeah, I'm a 6 guy, I'm the front runner. Y'all nigga manager was Charles' little blunt runner.
Yeah.
Playing a 6 and you boys ain't even come from it. And when you boys got rich, you had to run from it. Cash blowing, able bread out here tricking. Shit we do for bitches, he doing for niggas. Jets, whips, chains, wicked, wicked, wicked. Spinning like you tryna fuck, boy, you trippin', boy, you trippin'. Drizzy Chippendale, probably got your bitch Chanel. I just got them done, boy, don't make me at the Chippendale. Rolling loud stage, I would turn, that was slick as hell. Shit'll probably change if it BM start to kiss and tell. Hugs and kisses, man, don't tell me about no switches. I be rocking every fucking chain I own next visit, ayy. I be with some bodyguards like Whitney. Top say, drop your little midget ass, better fucking, ayy. Better drop and give me 50, ayy.
He say your little midget.
Drop and give me 50, ayy. Niggas really got me out here talking like I'm 50. Niggas really got me out here rapping what I'm living. I'm might take your latest girl and cuff her like I'm Ricky.
Yeah.
Can't believe he jumping in, this nigga turning 50. Every song that made it on a chart he got from Drizzy. Spend that little check, you gotta stay up out my business. Nigga, shout out to the hooper that be busting out the gritty. We know why you mad, nigga, I ain't even tripping. All that little heartbroken Twitter shit for bitches. This for all the top dogs, drop and give me 50, drop. In that fucking song, y'all got to not start the beef.
Uh-oh, hold on a second, y'all. We froze. Hold on. Can y'all still hear me? All right, we should be good. Don't know what happened there. Let me close out of this. Y'all give me 1 second. Oh, there we go. All right, we're back up. Okay, y'all are saying you can still hear me. We're still good. All right, cool. I think I need
With
to...
us, this shit been brewing in a pot, now I'm heating up. I don't care what Cole think, that dot shit was weak as fuck.
Here we go.
Champagne tripping, he is not fucking easing up. Nigga calling top to see if top want a piece of the top, want a piece of the top, want a piece of the. Nah, pussy, now you on your own when you speaking up. You don't roll deep to this, is not fucking deep enough. Begging cops or not, boy, you not fucking beating us. Numbers.
Yeah, so Mimi says if Kendrick hadn't dropped, push-ups would have won. We'll get into it here in a second.
Wise I'm out of here, you not fucking creeping up. Money wise I'm out of here, you not fucking sneaking up. Cornball your show money, merch money, feed us.
All right, y'all are saying it's lagging a little bit. Hold on. And I'll rewind it a little bit. Why is it lagging? Oh, it says yes, but we're froze. Yeah, YouTube doesn't like that we're playing the music. That's why. Give it a second, y'all. It's a content ID kicking in. So hold on. I'm going to try one more thing. Yes, y'all can hear me, but I'm froze. All right, I'll fix it. We'll fix it. All right, let me do this. There you go. Shout out to Young Steppa in here. All right, let me do this. Leave. All right, so we'll check that here in a second. All right, cool. We should be good now. Let me see. Can y'all hear me? Dang, we're still. Still frozen. All right. Yeah, I'm working on it. It's choppy. It's buffering. All right, I'll do this. Yeah, suffering pretty bad. I love how it happened as soon as we started playing music.
Yeah. Shit like this Super Bowl and shit, them biggest. Biggest Super Bowl, but the difference is it's just how I shit in the studio. Niggas who said it versus that mean they pair just like a 2-year-old. I love it in the wisdom, fine women. We started in about who to go. Come on, say it, who to go? Who you bitches really would old like a kid that had bad from January to November. Nigga, it's just you and Cole. Biggest what? Biggest what? Biggest the Super Bowl. Niggas so thirsty to put me in beef. I set to my words to start looking deep. I look at the tweets and start sucking my teeth. I'm letting it rock cause I love the mystique. I still wanna give me a song where I be. Can't trust everything that you saw on IG. Just know if I diss you, I make sure you know that I hit you like I'm on your caller ID. I'm naming the album to fall off. It's pretty ironic cause it ain't no fall off for me. Still in this bitch getting bigger. They waiting on the kid to come drop like a father to be. Love when they argue the hardest MC. Is it K-Dot, is it Aubrey or me? We the big three like we started a league. But right now I feel like Muhammad Ali. Yeah, Muhammad Ali, the one that they call when they shit ain't connecting no more. Feel like I got a job in IT. Rhyming with me is the biggest mistake. The Spider-Man meme is me looking at Drake. It's like we recruited your homies to be demon deacons. We got them attending your wake. Hey, how the gang got away from the bars, man, and shit like a prison escape. Everybody steppers with fucking and everybody breakfast, and I'm about to clear up my plate. When I show up, it's motion picture blockbuster. The goat with the golden pen, the top toucher, the spot rusher. Spray this whole shit up, the crop duster. Not Russia, but apply pressure to your cranium. Cold's automatic when aiming them. With the boy in the status of stadium. Nigga. Hey. I'm about to, yeah. I'm about to click out on this shit, I'm about to click, whoa. I'm about to click out on this shit, I'm about to click, whoa. I'm down to click out on you hoes and make a crime scene. I click the trigger on a stick like a high beam. And I would Benny Will whip when I was 19. She called my number, leave her hanging. She got dry clean. She got an Android, her messages is lime green. I searched one name and